called in the big guns. I've got a 30-year agronomist about to join me out here, gonna take a look at this field, figure out where the heads went, and see if we can figure out what the problem is. Side-by-side comparison of what we're gonna be talking about in this video. We've got a field full of sunflowers, but about 80 to 90% of them are completely missing their heads. We do have a few blooms, but not as many as we should. Just had a conversation with a guy yesterday. He was talking about how much of a pain sunflowers can be, and this is why. This is exactly why. Let's step in here and see what we have got. Don't worry, Rory, the fence is off. Okay. I promise. Okay. So here we are, the very first official bloom in the sunflower field this year. Not a very big one. The actual seed area is only about 3 inches long. I got another one coming right here behind it, another one coming. Definitely a few heads in here. I think we're gonna start blooming out here pretty quick. One thing I am noticing, and this happened last year, 2 years ago, a lot of plants don't have any heads on them. They've been clipped off. We had a sunflower head clipping weevil 2 years ago. That's a bug, it's an insect, and it comes in here and actually eats the head off as it's developing. I think we have got eaten off once again by the head clipping weevil here, because I have not seen any deer predation in this lower corner down here, and we are definitely missing a lot of our heads. We do have last year's millet crop coming back in here where the pre-emergence didn't take care of it. So kind of a double crop in here. We do have some brown top millet. We do have some weeds coming in. If you've been following the channel, you know it's been an extremely, very, very wet year. And well, that's promoting the growth of a lot of broadleafs in here. I thought I had knocked them out with the Amazomox. It does not appear to be the case. With all this rain in here, man, what a year. And now I think we've got a weevil in here that's clipped us off as well. Deer have got in the fence where the tree limbs knocked it down. This is really disappointing. We're walking around out here, and for every one sunflower head, there'll be 20 to 30 plants with no head. Plenty of foliage, a lot of growth on the plant, just no heads. I think we're probably going to need to take a year off of sunflowers. Rotating your sunflowers is really important. It helps control things just like that, pests, particularly that weevil. I think we're gonna need to rotate out of sunflowers next year. Maybe stick with sorghum, corn, some other row crop, and then do our millet. Because these sunflowers have taken a beating by some kind of insect. These definitely aren't deer in here. This is some kind of insect. And Hudson just pointed out, there's a woolly worm on here eating our sunflowers too. So everything wants to eat the sunflower. That's a good eye, buddy. So we've got deer in here. Mom has seen the turkey out here. We already got caterpillars on here. Everything wants to eat them. Just had a conversation with a guy yesterday. He was talking about how much of a pain sunflowers can be. And this is why. This is exactly why. Weed control can be difficult if you're not on rows, doing a lot of cultivating, a lot of herbicide. And now we've got a weevil in here eating us out. I mean, I'm not gonna spray insecticides out here because we have honeybees. So really nothing in the toolbox for controlling weevils. Over here by the fake power line poles, a little better. Got a couple heads scattered around here, a couple nicer, bigger plants, a couple heads. Certainly in a slump here compared to previous years. 2 years in a row, we've had some really big, nice Clearfield sunflowers. This year with all the rain and now what appears to be a weevil, we just can't win it. So this is a great lesson for folks. If you're in your first, second, third, even fourth year, we didn't have any predation on these sunflowers out here for, man, at least 3 to 4 years before the deer even really started hitting them. Never even saw a weevil, probably until year 6 or 7. And well, now here we are probably doing 7, 8 years these sunflowers, and we're constantly battling predation between the insects, the bugs, and the deer. Problems seem to kind of compound on themselves, is what I'm learning. As the insects and the invasives kind of start creeping in, it kind of can get harder and harder. Back out here a week later, and I've called in the big guns. I've got a 30-year agronomist about to join me out here, gonna take a look at this field, figure out where the heads went, and see if we can figure out what the problem is. A week later, we do have more blooms. You can see at least 20 or so in the frame here. So we do have some blooms starting to come on, but we're gonna get in here with him, check it out.
This one right here, head's gone.
Yeah.
But here comes one, here comes, they're coming.
It's got 3 more coming back on.
Yes, yes. So,
okay.
So
you think it's some kind of response to...
I think it's 2 things. I think it's too much rain and we have no control over that.
That's right.
But I think...
I wondered if it could have happened that early on.
It might have. Let me do some looking on that, because I don't honestly know why.
Could a caterpillar have eaten it that young too with the same result?
Yeah, it could have, but you wouldn't have seen it like this.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
they're every one gone.
That's right. Like I told somebody,
Everyone.
for every one bloom, there's 20 missing, and they even may be conservative.
In fact, this one right here had 3 on it. Look.
And all 3 of them gone.
And that one got gone, and it put out 2 here, and they got gone.
Is there something that causes the plant to say, I'm stressed, I'm gonna drop my head? Is there something, like some kind of response like that?
I wouldn't think that's happened.
Okay. So the rain was out of our control. The fertilizer has seemed to do well in the past, but I don't know how that plays in with the rain.
This time of year, I've never seen it this wet this time of year.
Yeah.
Months.
It gets set in winter wheat as a cover crop, and then it gets terminated and we drilled
good.
right back
That's
through
good.
it.
That's good.
And then next year will be even more. We're going to do oats and crimson clover, a heavier cover crop, and then we no-tilled it right back into it this year. It's like something got it early, and now that it's larger and more mature, the secondary heads can come on. Well, I really appreciate it. It's certainly been a mystery, but you're right, there's just a lot of secondary smaller ones starting to come on. So it's gonna bloom out probably in another week. It'll be bloomed out, it'll just be a lot of small ones.
It's gonna be small.
Yep, and non-seed bearing. Do you think as a general rule, when I talk about rotating my crops out here, this field is just too small to truly rotate from here to here, and that we should either be in them or out of them?
I don't think that makes any difference.
Okay.
Because what you're doing is affecting what you're dealing with is the soil itself.
Okay.
So from you move from there to here, that rotation.
That would be considered rotation?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir. Yeah.
So there we have it. Mr. Julian, kind of stumped him a little bit. He's going to do a little bit more research and get back to me. But he definitely thinks something nipped us off at a very critical early growth stage that took these heads off of this thing. Because like I said, if it was some kind of deficiency, typically it probably wouldn't bloom at all. So we're thinking something, whether it's rabbits or maybe a caterpillar. He doesn't seem to think it's a bug, but something came in here and nipped us off earlier, and they hit it hard because we're missing about 80 to 90% of our blooms out here. Great example right here. You can see the main head had been eaten off a long time ago, but you come down here and the plant is actually putting on 1, 2, 3, 4 smaller blooms here. So he thinks the rain has certainly impacted the size, being a low-lying area here. All the rain outside of our control, but he did say the rain is certainly affecting the size. But the reason for the missing heads is still a mystery to him. He's gonna do some more research and get back to me. If you've got any ideas or I'm missing something, please drop it down in the comments below. But I'll update you guys in a couple of weeks once we're fully bloomed out, show you the final results. If I can get some closure on what caused the lack of heads in here, I will certainly update you. That way, if you're dealing with the same thing, you can be informed on that, or you can be prepared for what may be coming in the future. As these fields become year after year after year of sunflowers, these issues seem to kind of compound themselves. But until those next videos, I really appreciate you guys watching. God bless and take care.